Could you imagine you running for office in the United States?
No, I thought about it years ago, a lot of years ago, because it's sort of in my, if you're a son of a journalist, you've really been around politics your whole life, and I thought about it. I did a TV show. Steven Soderbergh and I did a TV show a few years back in D.C. called K Street, and we used real politicians and worked every day in the room with, consultants, and it's Mary Madeline and James Carville and Michael Deaver and Ken Edelman and neocons and liberals and the whole sort of group. And the longer I was there, the more I realized that it just, from my world, I can pick a subject and take a stand and not have to worry about whether or not I'm not answering to a constituency, or I don't have to make any compromises in that world. I can go, that's bad. Now let's figure out how to solve it. The thing that's frustrating about what it is that we're trying is that we're also failing. It's not a failure, and the effort isn't a failure, and you personally responsible for saving thousands of lives, but you are.
I wouldn't agree with that, but go on.
But it's true. But the people in Darfur are no better off now than they were 5 years ago.
In Ireland, Irish people claiming President Obama, they put an apostrophe, the Obama, and of course they claim you. Your Irishness. Are you O'Clooney? Are you at all aware? I mean, how far back is your Irishness? Was there any kind of DNA? I mean, I know you've been known to scrap.
Yeah.
I've certainly witnessed some drinking. I haven't singing. I'm pleased to say I haven't. But
glad you haven't.
Is there what is your where is your sense of Irishness?
Our family is very Irish. Still Irish Catholics. We grew up in a very sort of rooted in Midwestern now, in America, but very Irish sort of, family, big families, and I've only been there a couple of times, which is the funniest thing to me. I should spend much more time.
I know. You just stay where you are. Okay, it's all I've left.
It's all I've got.
We just want to thank whoever it was, your great grandparents, your forefathers, the potato famine, whoever I have to thank.
Exactly.
We're really glad you made it on the boat. Okay, but you're welcome back for short
I swam here
visits.
the whole way. But I tell you, it's my family's very funny about that, because it's very, very proud. I had grandparents who were they're still mad at the English. It's that kind of deep-seated. Yeah, good on them, literally. But I didn't grow up with a huge Irish culture in the Midwest. Kentucky is sort of its own.
It's more WASP.
People always ask me if I learned a second language, and I was like, I grew up in Kentucky. English was the second language.